£1. Gordon, that's $1.21. Okay, in a deal that excludes the assets and liabilities of Silicon Valley Bank's UK parent company, Silicon Valley Bank. So, what are your thoughts on HSBC? Is this China controlled? How do you see HSBC, Hong Kong? It used to be Hong Kong Shanghai Bank.
Yes, and the thing about HSBC is that China has extraordinary influence over that bank. And so we have to look at this as Beijing buying the assets of Silicon Valley Bank. Really what we're seeing right now is China trying to take over the U.S. And it's not just the agricultural land. It's not just the financial system. It's everything. And we've got to get China out of our society. I know a lot of people will think that's drastic, but we are now at a point which is a crisis because we know what Chinese leader Xi Jinping has talked about. He's talked about destroying the United States. And we cannot allow that to occur. We Americans have not been paying attention to what the Communist Party has been saying about us, just as we did not pay attention to Osama bin Laden.
Yeah, this is really scary. I don't think the Biden administration sees it this way, frankly, Gordon. Now you've got former U.S. National Security Advisor John Bolton warning that the U.S. is, quote, sitting still, and that the Chinese, the Russians, the Iranians, the North Koreans, and several others are moving to shore up their relations into a situation where they will threaten the United States in a lot of different places. This after China brokered that deal between Saudi Arabia and Iran. They restored relations after 7 years of estrangement. Gordon, you say this deal is the result of a disastrous Biden policy, and the president's budget indicates that he is not concerned about China.
Yeah, first of all, on the budget, the amount allocated for the military is below the rate of inflation. But, you know, it's not just a question of money. We have a broken U.S. Navy. We have a partially broken U.S. Air Force. The leadership, both civilian and military, in the Pentagon is, I think, leaving the United States not defenseless. It's not like the hollow force of the Carter years, but it's certainly not as we have a military that is not as impressive as it looks. And this is a leadership issue. President Biden is allowing the rot to continue. You know, with regard to the Saudi-Iran deal that was brokered by China, this is the result of President Biden thinking that he could ignore and isolate Saudi Arabia, largely over the Khashoggi murder. The point is they have now allowed China to become the most influential power in the Middle East. And this follows the best U.S. policy in the Middle East since FDR. That was President Trump's with the Abraham Accords. We now have the worst policy in the Middle East under Biden.
This is so disappointing and disastrous. We are going to keep a spotlight on it, Gordon. Thanks very much.